Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is brought to you by Exclaimer. Today we're going to be looking at how to promote and expand your corporate sustainability initiatives. My name is Laura, and today we will be joined by Max Phillips, who joins us from Ecologi, and by Amy Green, who's one of our own team here at Exclaimer. For anyone who hasn't heard of Ecologi before, they are a fantastic organisation helping others to take action against climate change. So without further ado, I will hand over to Max.
Welcome everyone. Hopefully my screen is coming up all right here. So I'm Max, I'm part of the commercial and partnerships team at Ecologi. So just here to kind of introduce Ecologi as a platform and then how we kind of aim to help businesses be more sustainable. So Ecologi is a community of about 10,000 businesses now, mainly in the UK, but spread all around the world. And we have this kind of collective action mission to reduce half of the world's carbon footprint by 2040. So it's obviously pretty bold, but there's lots of different projects we're funding all around the world to try and make sure this happens. So far, if I scroll down a bit, here's the kind of numbers. We've just passed a kind of 31 million trees mark and done about almost 1.5 million tons of CO2 by the end of the month. So it's going really well. And we have this kind of roadmap of how, when our community grows, the kind of total impact we have around the world also increases. So here's kind of where we are now. And if I scroll to the bottom a little bit, some growing to do, but if we were to become the size of Spotify or the size of kind of Netflix, having that many members, both as kind of individual subscribers to the platform, just people, but also as businesses subscribing, the kind of really big impact that businesses can bring, we'd be almost at 50% of the world's emissions. So that's kind of where we're hoping to get to. So we're 2.5 years old now, but we're hoping that we can get there by 2040, as long as we can get this kind of collective action. So what do we actually do? If I show you our business leaderboards, so Ecologi aims to be a platform for climate action that gamifies all the different things you can do to help restore our planet. So this is our tree planting leaderboard. And if I click on, say, TriPad, so one of our partner companies, so every business, all of our 10,000 businesses, gets an impact profile that looks like this, and they can fund reforestation projects around the world. So I click here and you can see all the different countries: Madagascar, Mozambique, Nicaragua, Kenya and Uganda that they're planting trees in. And you can also see how many tons of CO2 they've reduced. So that is through things like solar power projects or conserving a particular area that was at risk, or more humanitarian projects. So again, you can click on here and see the full list of everything they've funded. But if you scroll to the bottom of the page, be a bit more visual, you get some images and you can click through and kind of read the blogs about each project, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that they've supported, and just kind of get an idea of what they've been doing. You can add in your sustainability goals here as a business. So that's things like switching to renewable electricity or becoming carbon neutral, or various things, having a cycle to work scheme that you guys might be able to do as a business to help lower your carbon footprint. And of course, you have your own forest here. As you plant more trees, they will appear not only in the real world, but also in your virtual forest here, so that you can kind of have them all in one place and see what species you're planting, kind of stay up to date with different updates as your trees grow around the world, and just read up on specifically what you are supporting. So Ecologi is a platform to fund all these things. You can sign up for free and make an account as a business, say, to plant trees for every newsletter sign up, or so Exclaimer have a wonderful forest that's been growing since October. And so they're doing planting a tree for every new business customer they have. So there's kind of any way you'd like that you can set it up. Some of our partner businesses do trees for sales. Some do a tree for every employee birthday, or 10 trees. Some want to offset their whole carbon footprint with us. Others want to offset their staff. So you can set up a subscription for your staff. You just really simply put in number of employees you have, and then it will kind of come out via calculator, what the carbon footprint of your team is, and how much it will cost to offset that. So lots of different ways that you can work, and kind of tie in climate action, not only as doing a good thing, but also as a kind of really strong narrative for marketing and sales, and really tie it into your business's revenue. And doing good is not only good for the planet, but more and more is becoming good for a business's bottom line too. So yeah, that's a really quick whistle-stop tour of the projects, what the platform looks like. But we as Ecologi, we work as a kind of, we try and be a good middleman effectively. So we have a 15% margin of what we keep to fund and grow ourselves. So that's how we exist like a charity in terms of having really slim margins. Everything else goes directly into the projects. But the reason we're not a charity is to try and get as much investment as possible and grow really quickly, because obviously climate crisis is an emergency, and we need to kind of scale the action that we can have around the world as quickly as possible. But we try and act as this middleman that lets you display all the impact you're having, makes it really easy for you as a business to show off your sustainability initiatives and get engaged, involve your staff, involve your customers, but then also have something to show for it, and really get that feedback too. So yeah, that's a really quick whistle-stop tour of Ecologi. Exclaimer doing their wonderful 2,000 trees already. And yeah, as a platform so far, we've just passed this 31 million, which is really exciting. So it's a lot of growth, but it's because we have lots of small businesses who are kind of taking the challenge, and way more small businesses than big ones, because they're quick and agile and interested. So it's amazing the impact you can have even as a 1 or 2 person company, or as a 10,000 person company. Getting engaged in things like this, small steps, is really what will get us to that goal of restoring the planet, basically. So yeah, that's enough from me. I think Laura had some questions.
Yeah, we do. Thank you very much, Max, for telling us all about Ecologi. That was brilliant, and great to hear a little bit about what you guys are doing to tackle climate change. So we do have a couple of questions that we'd love to get your insights on around sustainability, and corporate sustainability especially. So the first question I have for you is, do you have any advice on for organisations who may have launched a sustainability initiative on how to engage and involve their teams?
Yeah, so obviously having worked with 10,000 companies, some of them more hands-on than others, we've been in a really fortunate position where we get to hear from all different kinds of businesses about what they do to engage their teams and get all of their staff kind of really involved in whatever they might be doing for the climate, for sustainability. So really simple things, something like cycle to work, or generally bringing in the kind of gamifying stuff. So I've got a big whiteboard next to me in our office that has some of our kind of Strava, so kind of when people have cycled or walked into work, we'll kind of record that, and it's just quite fun to keep a log of it. Lots of our partner businesses will send around kind of monthly or bi-weekly email newsletters that their green team have worked on, kind of the updates, what they've done, whether they've just changed to renewable energy, or whether they're putting more plants in the office, or inviting everyone who might be interested to go on a tree planting day on the weekend. Lots of different things you can do, but the main thing is just putting it in front of people so that they can see it and get involved. Yeah, and just, as we've all experienced with COVID, it's really nice to do stuff together. So if you can, bring your staff in and do something as a team, like a planting away day or whatever it might be, then we've seen lots of teams get really excited about things like that. So yeah, so those are some of my recommendations.
Brilliant, thank you. And I guess as well, it just highlights the importance of, it doesn't matter whether your sustainability initiative is something really small or whether that is a huge sort of campaign that you're running within your company. It's just important to be doing something to make a difference. Exactly. And as well, it's important to make everyone feel like they're part of it. And that's some of the biggest campaigns we've seen
have been really effective because all of the staff across a 2,000 person company were tied in through kind of surveys and polls, and the ones that were interested in sustainability and wanted to have their voice heard or had that kind of option to do that and felt like they were part of the initiative too. So yeah, get everyone involved.
Definitely. No, that sounds great. Fab. So the next question we have for you is, do you have any examples of things that you do within ecology, to be more sustainable?
Yeah, so I feel like I've already mentioned a few of these, but so things like our office is all on renewable energy. Almost, I think every meal we do is plant-based as a team when we go out for food, or if we're having a quarterly staff meeting in the office or anything like that. Partly a lot of the team are plant-based, but also just being aware of the kind of environmental impacts of food. That's kind of been a decision that's made as well. So loads of different things. As I said, cycle to work, we kind of gamified track lots of silly things like who has the most steps each week and whatever it might be. And then there's bigger things too. So for example, achieving B Corp certification. So that requires you to do really in-depth analysis on your emissions and different kind of aspects of business, simple as recycling, to complicated things like all of your supply chain and where their emissions are coming from and how much they're taking care of reducing them or compensating them or not. So yeah, a lot of different things you can do. Kind of car sharing is another one we do a lot of, getting trains everywhere. But yeah, so I think lots of options, and it's never particularly easy, but there will always be different things that are easier for different teams. So just kind of start with the low-hanging fruit and build up some momentum from there would be my advice.
Sounds good. Thank you. So the next question we have for you is, the pressures of climate change can be daunting and a little overwhelming in knowing where to start. So I suppose our question is, do you have any advice on where organisations can start with their sustainability efforts?
Yeah, I would say don't for the kind of it being daunting and overwhelming, it's not on any individual or any individual company to solve it all. It is a huge and scary problem, but the way that we get there is by everyone doing a little bit, basically. And if you try and feel like this is I'm responsible and I need to change everything, then people feel overwhelmed and then get kind of sad and disengaged, and then actually you end up doing less than if you just took off a smaller bite, at least to start with. So yeah, small steps, as with everything, just start small and get going from there. I mean, for an organization, kind of some really solid things that might be useful to recommend. Measuring your carbon footprint, something that's really important and is becoming more and more expected nowadays. You can do that either through consultancies or through kind of automated carbon footprinting products. We have one of those called Ecology Zero that's coming out shortly. But either way, that will give you an idea of how much emissions your business is responsible for. And then from there, you can start acting on, okay, where can we reduce our emissions? Maybe it's our supply chain, maybe it's, our business travel, maybe we're taking loads of flights, whatever it might be. But that gives you a really nice place to start. And then compensating for those emissions. So once you've reduced them as much as possible, and obviously reducing them is an ongoing thing, it can't be immediate, but also funding projects around the world like carbon offsetting, like reforestation, carbon removal, anything that helps you contribute back as a business is really important too. And yeah, plant some trees, find an excuse to tie that into whatever initiatives you have going otherwise, and just start small and kind of build up a story and build up momentum from there.
Brilliant. That's really good advice. Thank you. Our last question for you, last point on the spot. So obviously we saw from when you were showing us ecology and some of the great stuff you do that you've got loads of businesses involved, and obviously all different initiatives from those organisations. So can you give us an example of a sustainability initiative from an organisation which you think went well and why it did?
Some of our best companies just have really interesting content in their email footers. So we have a lot of badges that companies use, their kind of climate positive workforce badge. They might stick that in the footer, but some of them kind of take little photos of their forests, their profiles they have with us, and put them in there and kind of explain what's currently going on in their campaign. And it's just a really simple way to get that message out to everyone and keep telling that story. So we've had one business that came to mind when I started saying that is they've kind of built their own virtual forest based off our ones for some of their clients. So now they have any client that works with them gets their own forest as well, and that's all kind of shared through their email footers. You can check it all out. So yeah, that's a few kind of thoughts that came to the top of my head.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Max. Thank you very much for your time.
Perfect. No problem at all. Thank you very much for having me.
Before we're joined by Amy, I just want to highlight a handful of statistics surrounding corporate sustainability that show exactly why companies need to take sustainability seriously. So as you can see on the screen, 76% of the general population agree that business leaders should take a lead on sustainability issues. That is a huge amount of people who are looking to business leaders to really make a difference. And in fact, that change is already happening. So since 2010, we can see that the number of companies investing in sustainability has doubled. And we can see some stats around exactly how much money is already being invested on corporate social responsibility. And it's now at the stage where 230 out of the world's top 250 companies that are producing an annual CSR report. So there's already really promising things happening. And it is really worthwhile to point out that the benefits of doing so as a company are threefold. You play your part in saving the planet, you build your reputation as a responsible business, and you increase the value of your business. In fact, a 2015 study suggests that an effective CSR strategy can increase a company's market value by up to 6%. So now it's time for Amy to tell you a little bit about how Exclaimer could help you and your sustainability initiatives. I will just give you a little bit of info about Exclaimer in case you don't already know who we are. We are the leading provider of professional email signature solutions. We make products that essentially let you centrally control your entire company's email signatures for all employees in one place. So now I would like to welcome Amy to talk about how this can be used to your advantage when it comes to your sustainability initiatives.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy and I'm on the customer success team here at Exclaimer. Today we're going to be going over Exclaimer Cloud and a little bit about how it works, our web-based portal, and how you can add sustainable messaging to your signatures that can be applied organization-wide to achieve that brand conformity that you're looking for, while also getting your sustainable messaging across on all of your emails. This can be done in a few ways, some of them being by adding banners, showcasing your certifications or awards, or adding email printing warnings to your signatures. So let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see here, I'm already logged into the Exclaimer portal, and we can see all of our current email signature templates by clicking on the signatures button on the left-hand side. From here, I'm going to go into my sustainability folder, which is where I'm going to house all of my email signatures surrounded around sustainable messaging, and create a brand new signature. When you hit the new signature button, you're prompted with a few templates that will help you go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this first one, where you can see that it has pre-populated attributes that are pulling contact information from your Active Directory, and you can see the live preview of what your signature will look like at the bottom of the screen. So let's go ahead and switch out this logo and add in our Exclaimer logo, which I can do right here. And you can see at the bottom, the logo automatically updates to the new logo. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is adding banners to our signatures to promote some sustainable messaging. To do this, I click on this Images and Icons tab on the left-hand side, choose Banner, and just drag it over into the bottom of our signature. Once I place it, I'll be automatically prompted to either link an image or upload an image. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and upload one of my banners directly into the signature. And now I can see that it's there, and I see it at the bottom in our live preview. So this is just a template banner that's showcasing a green impact challenge. So I'm going to rename the signature at the top to Green Impact and save this signature. So once I have the signature how I like it, I may decide that maybe I want to use a few different banners. So once I have this template, if I want to switch out that banner, all I have to do is go back out into my signatures and into my sustainability folder where we can see that green impact signature template that we just created. To switch out the banner but keep the signature exactly the same, I can duplicate this signature and have it sit in the same folder, and it'll just pop up here at the bottom. If I hit on this Edit Design button to switch out that banner, all I have to do is click on it and hit this Upload Image button and choose a different banner. Here you can see that this banner is promoting the conference of the future of renewable energy. So with this promotion, I want people to be able to sign up by just clicking on the banner. To do this, I click on the image and go over on this right-hand side where we have all of our functionalities for this element and go into the hyperlink option. I'll just type in my destination URL at www.exclaimer.com. And now this banner is hyperlinked, and I can just double check it from my live preview by hovering over and clicking on the banner, and you can see it takes us directly to exclaimer.com. Well, since this banner is promoting an event that has an end date, what we're going to want to do is set a date and time trigger for this signature template. So the first thing I'm going to do is rename the signature again. And we're just going to call this Energy and save our changes. Now that the signature is exactly how we like it, we're going to go back out into signatures and hit on this Manage button. This is the page where you're going to set up all of your signature rules, such as choosing senders and recipients, and also creating a date and time trigger. So if I go into this date and time tab, I can choose apply date and time range, and let's say I want this to start on November 16th and run all the way through till the end of the conference on December 5th. So I just go ahead and hit OK, and what this is going to do is starting on November 16th, this signature template is going to go live, and users are going to start being able to have this on all of their emails. But once the conference is over and it hits December 5th, this signature is automatically going to disable at the end of this date and time trigger. So you never risk promoting anything once that time period is over. So from here, all I'm going to do is hit Save Changes. And now starting on November 16th, this banner will be sent out on all my emails, really promoting that event and my sustainable messaging to all of our email recipients. So next, what we're going to do is go back into our sustainability folder and create another new signature. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit on that same template, and once again, just change that into our Exclaimer logo. Now for this signature, maybe I want to go ahead and add in a warning to all of my recipients that maybe they should think twice before printing my email. So to do that, I am going to go ahead and bring in just an icon so that my message really catches their eye. Again, I just upload a photo and we will go into our pictures and pick this little tree that's really going to go ahead and catch their eye to see what's written next to it. Here, as you can see, the image is maybe a little bit large, so all I have to do is click on the image, go over into size, and let's change that to about 50. Now that the image is how I want it, let's go ahead and add in the message that we're looking to show to all of our email recipients. So I'm just going to go and drag in a text box, and here we can type in, please consider your environmental responsibility before printing this email. Ask yourself if you really need a hard copy. So now that I have this message in there, people are really going to think twice before printing this email, but it's a little bit bigger than I would like for my signature. So all I can do here is actually wrap my text so that it doesn't always have to be on one line, and change the size of it to match the size of my signature. And now it's going to condense it so that it really fits in well within my signature. And again, we're really trying to catch people's eye here. So let's go ahead and change this to green. Now this can be done a couple different ways. I can just type in green here on the left and it'll automatically change that to a green color. Or if I want to make it a little bit of a brighter green, I just go to this option here where I can pick my color. Or if you have any company colors that you choose to use, you can go ahead and add that in there as well. So now I have my message that's reminding people to not print my email with an icon that catches their eye, and I want to line them up a little bit better. So I'm just going to add some padding on the top of my text, and you can see that it will start moving down to match that icon a little bit better. There we go. So now that I have this, maybe I want to add in some pictures and icons of some of the awards or certifications or organizations that my company may be a part of. To do this, I go back into this Images and Icons button on the left-hand side, drag over this image button, and we're going to upload my icon that says I'm a member of the Clean Energy Council. And now I'm showing off that we are members of this council, and maybe I want to add another in. All I have to do is drag that under there. Again, upload an image, and we're going to go ahead and put in a sustainability award that we've won. So here on this signature, you can see that we're telling people please don't print my email, and then also showcasing some of the really great things surrounding sustainability that we're doing as an organization. So from here again, I'm going to rename my signature, and let's go ahead and call this Awards and save our changes. And we are going to go back out and view all of our signatures and hop back into the sustainability folder and open a signature that was already created. So once the signature is created, if you want to go ahead and edit the design, all you have to do is hit on this Edit Design button and it'll bring you back into your template. Here you can see we have the same signature, but here we're showcasing, to shop locally and cruelty-free, maybe some best practices that your company adheres to. Those can always be displayed within your signature as well. And within the signature, on the left-hand side is where you have all of your formatting options. So if you would like to maybe make display name a little bit bigger, all you have to do is come in here and let's change the font size to 16. And at the bottom, you can see automatically that your font size is larger in your live preview. Now from here, this is the signature for Amy. I can always change my live preview and look at a different member of your organization. And when I go into Melissa, there's a little bit of a different signature because some of those elements she doesn't have filled out within Active Directory. So what you can see here is even if maybe there's some information missing in Active Directory, you're still going to get a complete signature that doesn't look like it's missing any sort of information. And then maybe, your legal team probably has some sort of disclaimer or anything of that sort that needs to be included in your signature. How you can add that is go into this Legal and Compliance tab and drag over the legal disclaimer option and put it in the bottom. So this opens up a text box with a generic disclaimer, which you can always get your wording from your legal team to be able to go ahead and put your disclaimer in and make sure that you're compliant on every single email that you are sending. So once you have all of your signatures created, save changes, and let's go back out to view all signatures. So really what we have here in our sustainability folder is now we have 4 different options and different methods of showcasing all of our email recipients, our sustainable messaging, and everything that we're doing our part for the environment. And with Exclaimer Cloud, you have all of your necessary contact information, brand identity, legal disclaimer information, all while you're utilizing your email signatures to get that sustainable messaging across. And these emails are going to be applied to every email that's sent, regardless of whether someone is emailing from their computer, from their phone, or maybe a web email like Outlook Web Online. The signatures are easily edited from our web-based portal that can be accessed from anywhere. And signatures can be applied on both the client side, meaning an agent installed on a machine where users can see the signatures and that they're sending, or on the other end can be applied on the server side, which gives you that option to have signatures applied from emails that are maybe sent on the go from someone's phone. They're always going to be applied after the fact. So regardless of how people are sending, where they're located in the world, signatures can always be edited on the web-based portal and applied to any email to really get your sustainable messaging across. So thank you all so much for taking the time to sit with me and learn a little bit more about Exclaimer Cloud and how you can utilize it to get your sustainability messaging across. Thank you so much and have a great day.
That's great. Thank you so much, Amy, for taking us through that. And a big thank you to both Amy and Max for taking the time out of their day to join us for this webinar. All that's left for me to say is that I hope this has been useful, and thank you so much to everyone who's joined and listened with us today. If you would like to get any more information, please do get in touch. Thank you and have a lovely day.